Just for now, we don't waste any time. We'll just there we go. So, Les, LAB4 coming to Australia again.
Yes.
How many times has it been now?
So I think I spoke to Adam, and I think when I did Esoteric, I think it was the 21st time I've been to Australia.
Time.
It was something like that, but because I went before LAB4 was a thing, because I was married to an Australian girl from Chelsea in Melbourne, just outside. And so I came over a couple of times before LAB4 happened. And then when LAB4 happened, it was like, God, it's like twice a year for about like 8 years or something or the other. Even more than that, I think. Yeah, so it's like, yeah, a lot. So I think it was 21. So Adam seems to think it was 20. And then when I went to Esoteric last year, I think that was the 21st time, I think.
How was Eso last year? I heard that was pretty good. Esoteric.
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, it was really good. It was like, it's the biggest crowd that I've ever played to on my own since LAB4 split. So I mean, God, it was a big crowd. I think there was about maybe 3,000 or 4,000 there in the thing. It just looked. I was terrified.
I don't believe it. So you mentioned the split. So I mean, we all know LAB4 as you and Adam, obviously, and So what happened here? I know it wasn't bad feelings or anything. It was just the end of an era, or what happened? Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think. Well, first of all, we split. I think what it is. I think what it was with Adam, that it's like kind of because he was married to an Australian girl and she was our manager as well. It was just 24/7 in the house, doing all the bookings, doing the gigs throughout the week. I just think he burnt out. You know, it was just like a 24-hour thing, and plus the stress of all the bookings and dealing with kind of 2 or 3 gigs a week for like 5 or 6 years. It just burns you out.
So how long ago was it now? Because you guys started in '94, wasn't it?
Yeah, so we split up in 2006. And then we got back together about in 2013, 2012. That was it, yeah, 2012. And then it went to 2019, and the last gig that Adam did was at Cambridge in the UK, and that was the final one. I've tried to entice him back, like with Australia last year, and we might be doing like the USB launch party in London this year, but he's just not interested. I mean, like, he's got his own life, and he's got, you know, like he's an audio visual engineer. So he works for a company installing TVs and like kind of PA stuffs in venues and universities and stuff. But he's just not into it. You know, like, I just think it's the travelling and just the whole thing was just like, you know, he's not really. It's just past.
Unless the energy is still generating, I mean, the passion is still generating the energy. It's so hard to juggle so many things.
It is. Plus, I mean, like kind of with the music business, it's like this, you know, like, you know, you've got to be so on it. Yeah, like that.
From the music side of things, have you noticed, like, are you missing anything that he used to bring to the table?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, like kind of when you're traveling, like kind of the very last live gig that I did on my own was maybe about 2 or 3 years ago. And to sum it up, it's just little things. It's just like kind of, if there's 2 of you, you've got that kind of whole friendship thing going on. You can trust each other and stuff. But even little things like kind of when you pack the gear down, there's someone there to watch the car. Yeah. And there's someone to make sure people aren't nicking shit out of the car and that. And at the end of the night, it was at a place called St George's Hall in Exeter. I had all the gear laid out on the stage. I said, right, I'm going to start taking it all down. So I went to get the car, got the car, parked it outside the venue, and I said to someone, can you just keep an eye on it? You know, just like, you know, just so. Anyway, so first trip upstairs, brought all the bits and pieces down. Second trip I came down, I got a fucking parking ticket. Right after the gig, I thought, that's just insult to injury. You know, like you do all that, it's a 18 time. I just thought, no more. That's it. No more. I'm just going to turn up a USB now and a pair of headphones because it's so much easier.
To start with, when you guys first, how did you connect originally? Like, were you doing like different stuff before LAB4, or LAB4 was originally more sort of alternative, or you were doing like what was at the start? Like, what was the original concept, and how did you guys like turn into what you did?
Well, we was actually in a metal band called MAD. I was playing guitar, which I've still got the actual guitar here that I used in that, and that one over there in the corner, as you can see. Okay. We was in a metal band, and there was me on guitar, Adam on drums. So we both programmed, and we had a vocalist and a bass player.
Yep.
But we were using like a lot of backing stuff, like samplers and hard disk recorders and hard disk players and that kind of thing. And Adam was playing to a click track. So it was all very like kind of, we had like a lot of stuff. It was almost like kind of Ministry, you know, that band Ministry, 9 Inch Nails, that kind of thing, with guitars and bits and pieces. So we had all that going, and me and Adam were the ones that were really pulling everything forward, or trying to. And the bass player kind of, he was kind of into it at the start, and he was like, "Oh, I'd rather be a script writer, and I'd rather do this." And my girlfriend's not really into me doing it, so he kind of went away. And then the vocalist followed about a month later and just said, "I just can't do it anymore because I'm just bored of doing it." And so we had like an agreement. We said, "Right, so the last gig we're going to do." What we're going to do is do like the full set with the band, and then me and Adam are going to come back on stage, and we're going to do just the two of us, and we're going to do a couple of really banging 170 hard dance numbers. And they went, "Yep, fine." And those two tracks got the best response out of the entire night. So we just said, "Well, what should we do? The actual like 4 pieces no more. Let's just be a 2-piece and go out." So we'd be like Chemical Brothers. There's loads of them doing it around that time.
Sorry, was it like a fetish club you were playing at initially, or what was the sort of the crowd you were playing at initially, like as a band?
Rock, alternative, goth, industrial, metal.
Yeah.
So and a lot of those people that came to see us were also into the dance scene. So it was like a really smooth transition from like, and students as well, because Oxford's a student town. And basically it's one of those places where people just want to go out, you know, on a Friday night and get pissed, you know, and just dance to music. And that's, I mean, the actual stuff that we did was very kind of dancey anyway, like sort of industrial 9 Inch Nails stuff. But we played hard. That's why LAB4 was really hard at the start, because it was just a transition from rock and metal over to like stuff that was kind of borderline Thunderdome sort of gabbery sort of stuff. And they didn't care. They just wanted to, you know, go down, sort of just get smashed on a Friday night and go crazy. So when we did that, it was a lot easier because there was 2 less people. We could organise each other a lot easier. And we got like a lot more bookings coming for like really big clubs like Ministry of Sound, Club UK, festivals that were popping up everywhere that we couldn't have done if we'd still been a 4-piece band, because it was almost like, we don't want the rock industrial stuff, but we'll have the hard dance stuff. So that's why we did that. It was a different scene really back then than it's now, you know.
You guys would have stood out a bit though, yeah?
We stood out, and plus we brought all the kind of the image with it, you know, as well, like the dreads and the kind of dresses were like really gothy and alternative and whatnot. And the crowd just seemed to like it, and we just got bigger and bigger gigs until we were playing places like Creamfields, you know, but still dressing like that with the kind of imagery and the kind of gothy sort of Marilyn Manson-y sort of imagery, especially in Japan. I mean, like they sort of loved it out there, so that's why we sort of continued with it.
Yeah, that seems to be resurging down here. Watching sort of just in the corner of my eye what sort of Hellraiser and guys like that are doing.
Yeah.
People just can't get enough of it. I don't know, the new generation have such a short attention span, so they really progressive.
Yeah, I mean that's why like a lot of the new tracks I'm writing now are only about 4.5, 5 minutes long. You know.
We've noticed that a lot of that is the attention span, I reckon, but a lot of it is traditionally the tracks that used to be like breakdown, whatever the traditional structure of a trance track made for DJs, a lot of them as well. You know, it's just not like that anymore. There's just the build up, the breakdown, and then bang. That's it.
I was doing a back-to-back set in June with a guy from Malaysia called Youssef Pifa, and I think we managed to cram about 22 tracks in an hour. And it was just like 3 minutes, look, jup, 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 jup per track, just the breakdown, the build up, bang, next. That was it, just chopping and changing really fast.
Well, I mean, I guess, like, I mean, from the DJ perspective, with the pioneers and all this, just thinking and all the, setting everything before you go on record box or whatever it is that you use, like, you're ready to go straight away with the next track. So it's just, people are doing a lot unless you've got other, hardware or equipment or doing, some funky stuff.
Yeah.
So, it's sort of, I think it's sort of good things. I don't like seeing all these dudes that aren't really doing that much DJing, just standing there going, standing there or jumping up on the decks and jumping up.
It's more of a mime act from these guys.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of
stay back the stage, pretending to touch knobs and doing these weird, elegant,
sexy chicks with,
like you can't leave like keeping like a fancy chef or something like that. I find it's hilarious. I guess all art's got a bit of the presentation is always there.
The visual aspect. I mean, the guys like Eric Chris and these guys are doing the massive, screens and all those big thing, hologram, not actually holograms on screens, but the big projections, that sort of stuff. Like, how's your visual? How do you guys feel about the visual thing when you play? Have you got like a visual aspect or certain things that you do?
Yeah, so basically, like, kind of most of the places I play now, they always ask if I've got like a little pre-made visual file, and I've managed to sit down and learn Apple Motion, so I can actually create some of my own little bits and pieces, and I just give them like a kind of folder. I think it's about 2 gigs worth of just the logo spinning and various little shots of this and that, and even things that I've stolen from films and whatnot, and sort of chopped the logo over and just let them have that, and they can stick it on the screen. Really,
it's changed a fair bit. Like the whole industry. Like where previously we had record labels and you hand your tunes in and they'd handle most of it. Now these days, you pretty much have to do a lot of it yourself, with the promotion, the visual, absolutely everything. Yeah. So
count, promotion.
Yeah, totally.
Psychology.
What do you keep on your car? Yeah, so it's a different market. So where are you focusing on trying to? I mean, you guys already got a name, but like there's Spotify or Apple Music or Beatport or Deezer, or like where do you sort of YouTube? Where do you think it's going, or where do you target, or what's the best way to do it? If
because I'm signed with Hard Trance Europe, which is the Nick Cole, which is Nick the Kid. He's the other guy that played out in Esoteric last year. Everything goes through Beatport, but what I'm trying to concentrate a lot more on at the moment is building the YouTube page up a lot more. So I uploaded all the back catalogue pretty much onto YouTube. And I'm getting so many people crawl out of the woodwork going, "Oh, I remember this track." So it's just another platform to promote yourself, really. I mean, I've not got that many followers on there at the moment because I'm a bit lazy with it. But yeah, I mean, I just bought a GoPro camera. I want to do like some in the studio stuff and just get that up there on YouTube. Like, it just seems like having all your tracks. I've got like about 160 uploads on there at the moment. Having your tracks is cool. Like, kind of when you start actually uploading video content, that sort of thing, it's just the actual hit rate is a lot. It's a lot better. But I've got some live footage stuff on there. But the problem is back in the day when like LAB4 were playing all these massive places.
Totally. Yep.
Many smartphones weren't around.
2007 was when the iPhone came out, and we'd done most of it by then. So
I mean, like, so many places, like we've asked, can we have the footage, and they haven't got it. And like, or either that, or it's been shot on something that's not that good quality, and it's like, oh God, do I really want that on there? But it's such a shame. I'd love to go back and have a decent iPhone with like a 4 or 5K thing and just stand there videoing it. But
that's it was on. There is some footage that we had some digital footage, and there is a little bit here and there from like your cams and that. But the difference is we didn't have the sound quality back then, whereas these days the sound and the video, it's a different ball game.
It's so slick and easy to do it. I mean, like, kind of now when you like listen back to some of the sound quality that people have sent me, it's awful. It's like It's just awful to have it on there. So it's not a good representation, but there were quite a few really good gigs in Japan at LAB4 we had for Avex that were professionally shot with like massive handheld cameras. But getting hold of them, it's virtually impossible to get hold of the footage. That's the sad thing. But it's really pro footage, you know. So I've got a cold at the moment, so I'm packing away.
Yeah, that's it. I think it's spreading everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The audio was the thing. Like, you know, we had I had like a CD thing that burned in real time. So when you were playing, it would record in real time, or we had your DAT tapes and that sort of thing. And then if we had footage, then you have to sort of sync that up. And just technology just wasn't there back then. So I'll say to Chaos last week, it's for us like for a lot of, for us, you know, like a lot of our performances and everything we did is in the memories of people. So it's a little bit different to how it is these days. And you look at a lot of the dance floors where things are going on from behind. It's all just camera screens and no one's dancing. And it's like, I don't mind that. I understand that's cool, but we live more in the moment, I think. And these guys are trying to capture the moment rather than living in the moment and sort of missing a fair bit of it. So there's a bit of a, I don't know, a bit of a gap there, sort of with the whole new technology and that sort of thing. I know that just got to find ways to drag it back into it, you know.
In like the comedy scene and like some smaller format stuff, they do a lot of gigs where they sort of lock up everyone's phones at the doors and those payment bags up. You ever see that happening at any of the?
No,
working, but.
No, I've not. I mean, I kind of most. Yeah, there's. I think at Fabric, I played at Fabric about when was it? At the start of the year. I think at the start of the year, and they were putting a sticker, which is ridiculous, over your phone and over there. So all you got to do is walk through the door and just peel it off. You know what I mean? It's just like they take your phone and go. I was sure it was there. It was something like that, and they just put a sticker over your phone and say no record. It's got no recording up. I mean, all you got to do is go and pick it off.
Well, I don't know. Can you get you get jammers for the mobile signals? Could you get it maybe some sort of frequency we can jam the video record?
I mean, it'd be good, but it'd be so much interference for your own gear at the festival. But then,
like I said, they'll bring your data. So then after the gig, when you see all the footage of you playing online, it's not bad, is it?
I think there's a good concept of like including with tickets, like if concerts are being streamed or filmed live, by the time they get home, they have sort of password access to some exclusive footage. They can see themselves. It might take away the enticement of trying to be so desperate to film it themselves if they know they're going to get a broadcast quality of it. And
I mean, I've been thankful for people who have sent stuff. I mean, sometimes you're down there DJ and you're sweating and you look absolutely dreadful, and they go and post it online. Like, angle you could ever imagine, you know. But so right, I'm gonna have to just get a water.
Take a break for 5 if you want, Les. Take 5. Stop here.
Yeah, because that was
end.
Yeah.
So what I want to ask you, what's I mean, the biggest tunes you've had? Like, I mean, my favourite's got to be Fallen Angel, Seen in My Dreams, and Ding-a-lang. What's actually been the biggest tune for you guys, and what's one of your favourites, and I guess most requested?
Probably the biggest seller was Concepts of Love, just because it was big enough in. It was on a TV show in Japan. That was pretty. That was big, and also Candyman.
Yep,
that was big as well.
Yep.
I mean, we just had quite interesting actually. Just had a remix done by Craig Futek, and because he's on that whole techno kind of angle, it's managed to get supported by people like I Hate Models and Carl Cox and a lot of the techno heads now. And I Hate Models plays really hard. I mean, he's like sort of, he's banging, but it's also got support. It actually got what was it called now? Carl Cox actually threw his a lot of support behind it, which was really good. but he's good mates with Craig as well. But I Hate Models, that was really good because it's a really young audience. It's like your 17, 18-year-olds, that sort of thing. So he supported it. And there was a couple of other people as well who supported it. It was really good. And they're all from that kind of genre of music, which is different. It's a completely new, fresh audience, you know. So if someone like I Hate Models is playing it, that's a whole new, fresh audience of ears to get to, you know, which is good. So that Concept of Love, Requiem was a big one. Ding-a-ling. Perfect Drug.
Where's that sample from? You know what God did for me? Jesus built my car.
Ministry.
Yeah.
So that took.
That's a piss off.
I think that took about 2 years to get that cleared, because we actually sampled the track, and when you actually sample a track rather than cover it, it's a lot more of a process to get it cleared. So I think it's mechanicals or something or the other. Yeah. But there was something like 12 writers on that track originally, I think, or something like that. I know it was quite a complex. I think one of the guys was from the Butthole Surfers who wrote the lyrics. And I think, what's his name? The guy from Ministry wrote the music for it. I think there was about 12 writers on it or something. Same with Perfect Drug as well. I think there was about 12 writers on that. Well, I think.
All around. Yeah, that video clip was big on that one.
Yeah.
Resner's he's done a lot for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I came from that same sort of genre. How you translate into the hard EDM stuff.
Yeah.
It's the industrial stuff. It's great for mind journeys, but you can't really dance to it for too long.
No.
That's why mosh pits and those concerts are only hours long before you break your neck. So yeah.
But a lot of the metal industrial sort of either went to like the psytrance or your sort of your hard style or your hard edge techno. Like it was a sort of that's I think where they the ones who could, what's the word for it? They could affiliate themselves, or what's the word for it? I'm lost to that word, but like if you're a techno head or so if you're a metalhead or you're a heavy metalhead or a thrash metalhead, there was a genre in techno where you could sort of liken yourself to and fit in and find that sort of niche. I think so. That's why a lot of guitars and that with the psytrance and all that stuff. And you guys have like guitar sort of like rock sort of bass or thrash goth bass sort of thing, which made you stand out, but still under the techno banner. You know what I mean? So. It's pretty. It was interesting how that sort of happened. So, but your sound as such has still pretty much remained pretty LAB4 the whole way through, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's still pretty hard.
Yeah. I mean, I've done other projects where I've done like housey stuff and that kind of thing, and it's good to do that because I think you kind of step outside your comfort zone and you start using like a whole new palette of sounds. I was working with a guy that used to work for a label called Acid Jazz, and they're a pretty big UK house label. They worked like house label and kind of branched out to all sorts of stuff. But that was like a really good kind of sort of lesson in discipline and using certain different sounds that, you just cut out all those sounds that you're so used to. You just start using like funky stuff and taking the tempos down to 124. It's like
and we were just chatting on Messenger, like we're talking about the resurgence again, like the 10-year cycles that come around and that sort of thing, and it's time. It's like that sound's coming again, like a lot of the stuff that's out these days, the 150, 160 beats per minute, the banging sort of techno stuff, the harder techno stuff with the acid in it is very similar to what you guys were doing back then in your Chocky Tune stuff or your VCF stuff, all that sort of shit. That sound's come back again with sort of a digital edge. And I guess then there's the more sort of normal techno around about 135, sort of it's a bit harder sort of techno, melodic, like peak time techno, I think they're calling it. And then there's the more melodic techno, which is a bit less. So it's sort of gone back. I mean, there's so many different terms and genres these days, it just confuses the fuck out of me.
No, I can't keep track.
But at the end of the day, it is all techno. And it seems like, like psytrance is still sort of its element on its own. It sort of kept going through, and the main sort of trance techno sort of sounds gone through all the different transitions and sounds, but it's really come back now to techno again. I find either the hardest, sort of faster shit, or just not so hard and fast. What's your take on that?
Well, like it seems like a lot of the stuff they're calling techno now, like the sort of the 20-year-old. It's not. It's like it's that early 2000s like kind of hard style, hard dance. Really, a lot of it.
Yep.
It's got all the little screechy sounds going. I've just been doing some tracks over the past couple of weeks with the guy, like, and he plays a lot of that. And he just wants like a lot of the screechy stuff and this kind of thing. I was thinking, and he's saying it's techno. It ain't fucking techno, mate. That's like really early Zanny style, like Onion Boy, like reverse kick, reverse bass.
Yep. But that hard transition into the hard style, early hard style stuff.
Yeah. And using like those old samples as well. So like I don't know if you can see down there, like I've got libraries full of like all the early. Well, that goes from about 94 up to probably about 2000, and that's all those samples of all that Drop That Ghetto Blaster and all that kind of stuff. You know, all those kind of like old.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to go through. I've just done one. So like a 160, and it's got like some of those old samples on it, and they still sound fucking good. You know, you drop them in a track and you go, "Oh God, that one." It's just nice to hear them again, but in a kind of newly kind of sort of programmed and created sort of space sort of thing. But so what down there?
So with AI, what's your take on AI? I mean, like, you know, it's talking about the sample and that sort of thing. You know, you've got the technology now that can rip the vocals out and that sort of stuff quite well. I think it takes the vocals out better than sections of the music. So
yeah.
I mean, look, it's obviously it's a tool that, you know, I'm using it, you know, and I think it's something in the future where we're all going to use it. And what's your take on how much are you involved with it at the moment, and where do you see it sort of going?
So far I haven't used it in anything, but I've heard it when we did a retreat thing about a month ago. We're doing like a studio retreat. I was teaching audio engineering. One of the guys there, he said, right, he goes, let's just like put down these little points, and it was something really stupid, and I forget what it was. And this fucking app, after about 5 minutes, it did it, and it played us this song, and we went, oh my God. And it was like the most ridiculous points that we like mentioned on this thing. And we said, yeah, it's got break beat, and it's got some like Skrillex influences. And it was like a top 5 hit. And it's like, oh my God, that's just like, it was terrifying, you know. But so far I haven't used it at all on anything because I don't know how to.
I had a bit of a go and checked out a few of them, and I find they sort of fall down with like the like, if you try to get it to make a whole track, I still think it's not really like at that point where it sounds schmick, or maybe I haven't used the right apps, you know, with the prompts and all that sort of thing. But I'm finding that I'm using it more for things like the EQ tools and, you know, like the sort of just those sort of refinements that take a lot of time, or skills that you know, are specialty skills. You know, we used to have other professionals come in and help us with the production process, and that's sort of where it's going. And someone likened it to, I read something the other day where they said, you know, back in the sort of, you know, 80s was like, if you were in a studio and there was a computer there and someone was using something digital, they said, oh, this is like a cheating, Whereas today, it's, you know, you've got your computers in there, and there's a lot of digital stuff's recorded as well, and now it's even gone completely the other way. So it's sort of like, you know, you think, well, being used as cheating, that sort of thing. Well, it's not really cheating as such. It's using the technology, and I guess it helps speed up the workflow, and put more tracks out, saves a lot of time. And there's some things that, you know, I'm finding, especially with a lot of the EQing and the balancing and that sort of stuff, that it can do that I would have no chance of doing. You know, it's just, that's sort of worries. So
it also allows people with absolutely no talent or imagination to create pretty similar to, like you said, the top 5, top 10 tracks.
Yeah.
Especially if you keep running them through the processor and tweaking the prompts, and then
I think the prompt is
a bit of engineering and polishing it up yourself. Like,
I think I would use it if I was. I think I would really find it helpful if I was a lyricist, especially. And I've seen, I think the new. Do you use Ozone? Isotope Ozone?
Yeah.
I think
11 and and also 4 and Logic. I'm using the mastering stuff on Logic as well. Also using the Focusrite, some of the AI stuff there with their limited and their EQs and stuff as well. Mine's pretty good. I was like the actual apps and stuff. Stock music I found was pretty good. I did some stuff with Fader, and I thought, not too bad. I've got a vocal remover. There's different ones that do different things and sort of pull certain things out of here, in relation to stems and spinning and MIDI, but still, it's not. I don't think it's quite there yet, and I don't rely on that at all. It's just, I find that if I go down that AI road and chuck a whole lot of shit in, I end up just going back to just doing it myself pretty much most of the time, unless I search for a vocal or a sample or rip something out of it, and it's just.
Hasn't it because I've got an old Logic on my iMac, because that's a really old iMac, but the new Logic's got AI on it, hasn't it?
Well, it's got the mastering, like a mastering thing at the end where you basically does the overall master and gives you a few options. But I mean, Logic's pretty. Logic's my favorite software, and I just incorporate a lot of the apps and the VSTs with that. So what are you using at the moment to like make tunes or yourself?
That's what I was going to ask you. If you've sort of minimalized your live rig to basically a USB stick. Has your production studio shrunk to VST? Are you still using hardware?
Yeah, I've still got 2 keyboards, but to be quite honest, I'm kind of 100% in the box. 100% in the box. I've got, if you can see it there, I mean, there you go. That's the iMac.
Good to see you, Mac.
Yeah.
That's about it, really. Backy big knob iMac. I mean, the reason I did that was because at one point I was doing like a lot of advert work and writing for other people through my publishing company, and sometimes I'll be getting like 2 or 3 jobs a day coming in, and just having like a mixing desk, you got like Total Recall. It's just fully Logic. You could just get one project up, finish it by midday, and another one will come in sort of in the afternoon and say, can you have it ready by 9 o'clock? And then the next day they go, right, so the one you did yesterday, can you get that project up? Got to have some tweaks on it. And I'm like, oh, no. So it was just a dream, just having everything in the box, and I don't have to worry about anything else apart from that. I can save everything. I've back everything up in triplicate now because I've learned the hard way. With like external hard drives going down, you think, no, it's like, God, I don't believe it, but
that's what
it's 100% in the box.
Rocking up to a gig these days, and you don't have a record box, you don't have anything, it's just got a USB stick, and I'm a DJ. It's like, whoa, are ya? rocking up anymore? And tell me about Atomica. What's going on with that? Atomica.
Yeah, so basically so I'm actually writing one now for like a new Atomica release, but I'm actually working on an EP, and it's going to be all banging because a lot of the stuff I've done with HT is all around 140, 138 to 142, and I've just got this thing inside me that goes write faster. And my girlfriend's really into like kind of banging techno because she goes to all these events like Spectre and all that stuff. And she played me a couple of tracks that she's into, like Creed and that sort of stuff. And it's as hard as fuck. And I'm thinking, it's got in my blood. So now I'm going to do like an EP and it's going to be all 150, 160, 4 tracks. It's called Unsane Addiction. So I've got all the artwork worked out. So that inspires me. If I have the artwork up there on the screen, every day I'll turn on and go, oh shit, I've got a little bit more to it. So yeah, so I want that to come out maybe October. So I've got 4 tracks for it. I've done 2 tracks. One called Revolution. That's the working title, which is 150. Another one which is 150. Another one which is 160, which I've used some of those old rave samples. And what I've done is slightly different because I use Nexus a lot, Nexus 4 re-effects. I've been doing some different production stuff where I've been putting everything through Arturia Coldfire. I'm not sure if you use that distortion unit, and just chucking actual bass drums and the bass line and the whole rhythm section through the distortion unit just to see what kind of effects it will produce. And some of the effects it comes out with are so bloody good. You think, God, that's banging. So yeah, it's like chucking loops through, just not separating the actual elements out, just entire loops of tracks, and just having that going through and messing around with it just to get kind of different textures on the basses, and it seems to work. So I've got one track that's all like that, and it's just all those kind of rhythms and whatnot chopped up. And also as well, we've just got like an agreement going with a company called Devious Machines, and they've been sending us over some free plugins like Infiltrator, and it's like this manic glitch thing, and just putting whole loops through that is just so insane. It's really, really good. So it's almost like, you have so much now at your disposal so fast, your brain almost short circuits and goes, everything sounds really cool. So what I've got to do now is go through and try and like kind of just get the best bits and stick with them, because otherwise I'm going to be here all fucking day just doing this and not finish anything. It's just going to be like sound design. And you've got all these cool sound design things and think, I haven't got a track at the end of it. So it's just like some cool loops.
40 tracks in one, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what we do.
He's on a bit left of centre. So what's your take on what's going on this planet, like with the conspiracies, with the reptilians, with SpaceX, with Antarctica, with the planet Earth, with all that sort of stuff. What's
my favourite subject apart from music? That is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fuck it. I don't know, because it started to blow up with that Tic Tac thing, didn't it? Do you remember it was about 2017, wasn't it, with that little Tic Tac thing flying around? And then it kind of hit the mainstream. But I listen to stuff all the time, like kind of when I train. I've always got those shows on, like Ancient Aliens and all those like radio shows and Weird Darkness and Fade to Black. And the thing is, I think even if 1%, what's it say? What's the saying now? If you see one white crow, it means that all crows aren't black. So if you see one UFO and it's real, then it's a game changer. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that's one way to look at it. But I don't know. I mean, like, kind of, I'd absolutely love to think it was, it was real and whatnot. And who knows, it might be. But yeah, I mean, all the conspiracies.
I believe it's fully real. And one of the guys going back to the, talking about the. Who actually created like the anarchy and all that sort of thing, and how we were creating the Garden of Eden, and human race was, were designed to be slaves basically. We were small to be miners for gold and all that sort of thing. And
yeah.
I believe a lot of that is like right on the money sort of word.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
totally. Yeah, it's like kind of all this stuff about the Grand Canyon. I didn't know that it's actually illegal to go. I think this is the case. It's actually illegal to go into caves in the Grand Canyon. You're only allowed to go into a couple. All the rest are completely off.
I was actually looking into that yesterday, and it's really bizarre. NASA has a lot of the land rights to the Grand Canyon. And
really?
Is really bizarre religious locations as well.
I've got all goosebumps now. Look, all the hairs.
Yeah, well, the Vatican, they've got a whole lot of stuff hidden under there, and haven't they as well? A lot of secrets and
yeah, 52 miles of tunnels under the Vatican. Mm-hmm. It's probably like that thing at the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark when you go down and they see all like that massive warehouse of stuff down there. But yeah, I mean, I'm totally sold with it. I'm totally sold with it.
Do you reckon space? It's not actually space up there. Do you reckon it's water and we're in a bubble? And the Earth's a dome.
Sorry?
Do you reckon it's space? Space as we know it, right? Do you reckon the latest series are there? It's actually water up there, and it's like we're in a dome in a bubble. And
that's right. Yeah.
Everything it's sound and resonance and frequency, like the Tesla thing. It's like everything's sound, like sound. Everything's created from sound, like sound was, and then sort of and everything. So, if I think it's important considering what we do with music and that sort of thing and harmonics and that. Just I think it's cool to find out that sound is the building block of everything,
Yeah. You know how NASA, they sent out that gold record?
Yeah.
For
Voyager.
Yeah. Apparently all the technology they use to sort of communicate and signals of that fashion, they use the frequency of hydrogen, which I thought is...
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's... I'm not really sure where to put it in my brain yet.
Well, the frequency is I think the frequency is the answer. Like, and that's what we are.
Well, that would make sense if space is water. That would be the perfect frequency to use.
All the music and everything that I've been playing at recent sets, I've been retuning everything to 432 hertz.
Yeah.
Recording it through Logic and just doing it, and I haven't noticed that much of a difference yet, but I'm sure it's making a difference. And entirely.
Yeah, because 4 was it
440.
Yeah, 440.
They changed it. 432 is what is 432 is like calming and healing, and 440 is stress. It's the stressful, more stressful.
Yeah, because one of my friends used to live near Mount Shasta out in LA, out in California, and she said when you drive out there, she said it is a weird place. She said all the cafes that you stop at, she said the amount of missing people on the walls. She said it's just hundreds and hundreds of photos of people that have all gone missing near Mount Shasta.
Yeah, well,
never seen again.
Yeah, well, the kids. I mean, the children are the ones I'm worried about. Like, with the big things with the tornadoes, or it's like the things in Maui and the lightning, all that sort of shit. Like, hundreds of thousands of kids going missing, and this, the Mel Gibson and what's his name? Is that on? There's a couple of them that are coming out and sort of trying to expose Hollywood for what's going on with that and all that.
Oh yeah.
It's some pretty horrible shit going on this planet. It has been for a long time, and it's sort of it's. You have to be careful what you say, I think, because with all of that stuff, because the ones that are outspoken are being silenced. But I think it's at a point now where a lot of the stuff was tradition, and children were following in the footsteps of their fathers and grandfathers. But the Masons and not that sort of stuff. Not that I want to mention too much stuff online, but now with today, with I guess with where technology is, information, and I guess people being a bit more enlightened and not really wanting to go down that path and say, hold it, what the fuck's that? That's wrong. And a lot of it is wrong, man. I've heard a lot about adrenochrome and, all the horrible stuff that's supposedly been going on. And I actually believe it has been going on for a long time. And, it's time that that all stop, I think. And
it's funny how like so many big name like Hollywood actors that were child stars have come out and they've all said the same thing.
How hard they're pushing the abortion agenda.
Oh God,
those poor little babies, they don't get disposed of. They sell all of the biological matter, and it's one of the biggest industries on the planet.
Well,
go to these poor areas that are ignorant. They have no clue really that they're being farmed, basically.
Yeah,
and all the on all the non-binary stuff and all the genders and all that sort of stuff. It's like I think it's been introduced to just confuse everyone and to hide what they're doing even more. And I chose to be transgender, actually, but then I thought, no, I want to be the hidden agenda.
Hidden agenda.
It's kind of like a turn of ancient pagan Greece, almost.
Yeah.
Didn't the church ban the Olympic Games for a while back in the day? Because originally they were all naked men sort of wrestling.
That's right.
And the ancient Greeks used to have boys that were their apprentices sort of thing, and they were allowed to do what they wanted to do with them or something, wasn't it? As well, like that's been a lot of things in history that have been not quite right.
That's still that's still going on in most Arabic countries. It's pretty much standard to have every man has a little preteen apprentice and also their little prostitute, but because everyone does it, it's just accepted as
part of life. I must admit, I didn't watch a single second of the last Olympics. I just couldn't. I haven't got a TV. I refuse to have a TV in the house because I just think it's just brainwashing bullshit.
It was just more predictive programming.
Yeah.
They actually had a reenactment of the Last Supper, and
that's it.
They replaced Jesus with a giant fat DJ
with Dex,
a female.
Hey mate, that's one up from when Chesto did. I thought Chesto's effort at the Athens Olympics was pretty great. The music was wonderful, but this was a bit different. This one, pretty strange angle, I think.
Yeah,
but then sorry.
Yeah, go on.
I've heard other things about the Olympic flame and then it goes back to the Statue of Liberty, and there's just just depends how far you want to look into stuff and how much you want to believe it. A lot of stuff. I mean, I see a lot of stuff on Instagram, a lot of different stories and things that are coming out. And certain things just resonate as you can just see that that's the truth, and a lot of things that we've been told in the past and been made to believe is just like that's just fucking crap. It's a lot of crap, and there's a lot of not nicer things going on in this planet, but. I think Music is really important because we were a generation that brought the world together and communicated without words, and it was a secret society back when the techno revolution came. Started.
Yeah, totally.
A lot of it got shut down and spread apart, but I think it's time for that resurgence, especially at this particular point in time in history, because it's pretty. We can go either way on this planet right now. A lot of things that can possibly happen that may happen. You know what I mean? And a lot of it's frightening.
Yeah, I can remember just going to rock gigs. There'd be just a certain amount of people, the same demographic there, but kind of going to raves and stuff like that. It was just like everyone was there from every kind of sort of like class background, every kind of sort of ethnic background there and whatnot. It was just everyone was there just to have a good time with no bullshit. That was it. And that's why we just love going to those things. It was just it's just like a really good vibe. Go to Club UK and your Ministry of Sounds and whatnot, especially Club UK, because that was just, I think there was probably more British Prime Ministers at Club UK dancing around off their heads than probably anywhere else. Kind of all from Eton, loads of Eton kids there and loads of other kids there, guys there and whatnot and people. But yeah, it was just really, really cool melting pot of people just having a good time. They were just there for that, really. Really good fun.
It's kind of like the opposite of Hollywood, really. Have you ever been played many gigs in that realm of the twisted and famous, like Hollywood? Do they even have parties like? You
guys won a lot of awards, didn't you? For doing some ads and stuff with Pepsi, or you did some pretty big ads, and you won awards for doing some pretty major sort of stuff. Yeah, is that right?
Yeah, did Super Bowl, lad, in 2000. That was a biggie.
Yeah.
That was for Reebok. It had that. Do you remember that American girl called Floyd Jones? What was her name? Floyd. Long nails and stuff.
Sprinter.
Yeah, Sprinter. Yeah, she was in the ad. So we did that, and we did
Bacardi, Pepsi, wasn't it? Coca-Cola. Did you do stuff from Bacardi and Pepsi and Coke or something?
Bacardi, Pepsi, Coke, Shaw, Shoal, Fiat, Manhattan Loft. Oh God, I can't remember. Camel cigarettes. That got banned by the Vatican because it had some bird of her boobs out. Oh God, who else? Yeah, quite a lot. Some stuff for the BBC. I've just done the soundtrack for a sci-fi movie called Neurovenge. That's come out in Canada. Got 2 tracks on that and some other little incidental pieces on there. Yeah, documentaries. Yeah, all sorts of stuff really. Just lost, can't count the amount of. Yeah, it's probably about maybe 20, 25 ads, big ads. I can remember the Bacardi one came out with the first X-Files movie, so we went to the cinema to see it, and that was a bug really. But it's good though, you just get to work on different genres of music. And they say, "Can you do this?" You go, "Yep," and you can't, but you just bluff it, and you try and come up with something as best you can. But yeah,
it's good to see you're stuck to your guns though. You're still LAB4. You're still the man, and we can't wait to see you come to Melbourne, Australia, man. We're looking forward to it. Yeah. Gonna be good.
My favourite place, Melbourne.
The 22nd time you've been here, wasn't it? 23rd?
Something like that. I've actually got Australian relatives, but they're from Sydney. And I can remember meeting him when I was about 10. He came over. Elston from Australia, his name, and he came over and he was really cool. But they were from Sydney. But I've tried to look them up, but it's just no.
They're different breed, mate.
But yeah, so I'm staying in St Kilda. So
yeah, where we are right now.
Yep.
Is it? I love St Kilda.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I love St Kilda.
It's a bit wild, and it's changed a little bit.
Just on the beach on Big Hill Parade.
The end of the streets. Yeah.
We'll show you when you get here.
Yeah, because we used to stay just up the road that runs up the Prince of Wales, the Eildon Road. Yep. There's some really cool old Victorian old buildings up there. I think one's an art gallery or something.
Ackland Street? No? Ackland Street? Which road? No.
Eildon.
Eildon, did you say?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Eildon. Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I think it's behind Fitzroy Street, sort of.
That's it. That's it. So if you walk round the corner of the it runs up beside the Prince of Wales, I think it is, and it walks up there, and there's the Quest Apartments. That's where we used to stay.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
the time down there.
go
When
behind
was the
it.
last time you were actually here?
Huh?
When was the last time you were actually in Australia?
Last year.
Okay.
Yeah, that was for that was for
Is it? Yeah.
esoteric. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
esoteric.
Sweet dumb question.
And before that, it would have been about 2013, and we played for Brad, and we played for Pharmacy, I think it was. And I think before that, it was like, well, you guys, it's like everyone really.
Yeah.
It's good fun.
You well loved in Melbourne. You well loved in this country. That's for sure. Across the board, man. It's amazing. It's good.
From the stage perspective, can you, when you're up there playing, can you tell what country or what city you're in? Like
Definitely in Japan, you can. Especially when you play like an all ages event in Japan, and they're like little kids with their mums and whatnot and their parents. No, not really. I mean, like kind of Finland would probably be more kind of on the industrial goth side. So like a lot of the people there would be dressed, like really metally sort of thing, and gothy, but not really. Not really. I mean,
That's it's a universal language, isn't it?
Black metal's always been a bit from the northern countries, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Used to burn down churches and things, didn't they? Or the black metal band.
Nordic noir.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not really. I mean, it's all the same at the end of the day. People are people, they enjoy music, don't they? So that's it, really. At the end of the day. But yeah.
It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, Les. Thanks for everything. You've been very patient with us tonight. And
oh, cheers, guys. At least it's up and running. Like it wasn't working on my iMac, but it's okay on this one.
Things have a way of working themselves out. We have to find a better medium, I think, or a program what it is than Zoom. That's actually worked out all right, but I'm sure there's better ones out there.
I'm sure there's some podcast dedicated
OBS or something apparently.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing today. But yeah, we'll touch base again when you're here in real life, and
yeah, brilliant.
We'll grab a drink.
Yeah, I spoke to Six, so we'll put together some. We'll edit this up and we'll do a promo thing for the show, and we'll run it past you, and then we'll see you on the night. And yeah,
I'm trying to find where I'm staying actually, because I've already got the hotel here. Where I'm staying in St Kilda.
Okay.
I think it's along Fitzroy Street. I've got a picture of it somewhere. Where is it?
Yeah, there's a couple of nice pictures on Street actually.
All right.
Colorado's.
Are you familiar with Rubik's at all? The venue?
No.
Good venue. It's a warehouse venue, man. It's a pretty good venue.
Wicked.
Perfect. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, I'm looking at Rubik's now. Actually, it looks wicked.
I think they're one of the better crews that have eventuated over the last 10 years. So.
Oh, wicked!
I
here we go.
was getting a bit worried for a while. It was getting a bit quiet, but yeah, they've brought that warehouse feel back to the same.
44 Fitzroy Street is where I'm staying.
Okay.
And the hotel is called Tullamarine.
Toronto.
So that's it.
Colorado, yeah.
Yeah, it's Toronto.
It's about 800 meters from where we are now, and about 400 meters from where I live.
Really?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Too easy. All right, we'll take enough of your time. I think, Les, you've been. Thank you for that. Been
excellent.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys. Yeah.
We're going to be filming quite a lot of stuff at the gig as well. So
wicked.
Yeah, using a bunch of these new 8K 3D 360 cameras. So we'll send you a bunch of all of that footage as well, just for your own.
You're our first one. We've got a whole massive project underway here with a lot of stuff that we're doing, and this is like sort of the first test run. So.
Oh, wicked. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
You're our champion, golden boy. Yeah, awesome.
Brilliant.
Alrighty. Cool.
Okay, guys, lovely chatting and everything. That's fantastic.
Stay in touch before you come. We'll see you when you come, and we'll go from there, mate.
Excellent. Cheers, buddy.
Mate.
See ya. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Awesomeness. That's pretty cool.
All right, guys, hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah. Episode number 0010. I'm Jason, this is Justin.
He's such a chill guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
You can hear the crowd, babe. It's rockin', 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 rockin'.